Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and welcome to Quick Tips, the series where each episode I go over some sort of tip or secret with the overall goal of creating a huge collection of videos to help both newer players and older players improve in Overwatch. Now today we're going to be looking at hero switching. Now as most of you guys know, Overwatch was built from the ground up with hero switching in mind. It promotes a more strategic gameplay because you are having to constantly weigh the pros and cons of switching to see if it's worth it to attempt to counter the enemy team. So as an example, say the enemy team has a really good Reinhardt or Winston that your team can't handle, it might be a good idea to switch over to a Bastion in order to constantly break their shields. Now although Blizzard wants to promote hero switching, they don't want to make it where you should just always switch heroes constantly. So whenever you switch heroes, you lose all ultimate charge you had. So generally, you want to switch only after you use your ultimate in order to try to maximize value. Because if you finally get your ultimate but then switch over to someone else, you're losing the potential to get these game-changing ultimates off. However, it isn't always that simple. Sometimes you're playing someone like Tracer that doesn't have one of the most impactful ultimates, and sometimes you may need to switch heroes immediately. The whole strategy comes in from trying to determine if it's worth it or not. Now generally, you do want to follow the rule of trying to wait until after using your ultimate before switching, and sometimes you may even be at 75% charge and want to wait until you get your ultimate and then use it before switching. So this is all something that for the most part you will get a hang of after playing for a while, but there are some tips I can give out. First of all, it's okay to lose some ultimate charge if you really think you should switch. Although ultimates are great and can change the tide of a match, you countering some parts of the enemy team most of the time is going to be more effective than getting a single ultimate off. Another thing is don't be scared to use your ultimate in the first place. A lot of people, including myself when I first started playing, held on to my ultimate forever waiting for that perfect moment. But if you wait too long, you eventually get to a point where you could have used your ultimate twice in the time you were waiting. Every ultimate doesn't have to be completely game-changing, especially because most of the heroes' ultimates charge relatively fast. Also, try not to switch too much. Many players, especially when not doing the best, sometimes switch nearly every death. Now the problem with that is that you are preventing yourself from getting any ultimate charge, and you're most likely going to perform worse than if you kept a smaller pool of heroes. And lastly, don't main heroes. Although I know a lot of people only want to play a single hero like Genji or Widowmaker, you have to be more open for your team. The hero you want to keep playing may not be the best fit for your team, and sometimes your team may need a tank, and it can all change anytime in the match. You just have to be open in this game and understand how important team compositions and switching actually is. And that's it. If you enjoyed this quick tip, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more Overwatch content and news. And like always guys, see you next time.